Hey guys, it's Derek. Welcome to the Writer's Block. For this episode, I'm continuing my Writing of Planet Dolan series by talking to two more voice actors about their work on the channel. Joining me are PringleTheOne and Amphy, known to a lot of you as Paprika. Okay, so let's start out by, once the script is given to you by Dolan or Sid, I'm not sure who does it, what's the first thing you guys do with it?
Definitely try to read over it. So it's kind of absurd, but I like the absurdity.
For me, I just kind of go off, man. Like I just go in and I just try reading, and I'm like, what? I literally just kind of just go in there and just keep on reading. Maybe sometimes I try to drink like some water ahead of time. That always helps a bit, clear the throat up.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for doing Paprika's voice, I actually have to cough a bunch of times to get that gravelly sound.
Oh, there you go.
That must hurt your voice after a while.
Not really. It's just a little tiring.
Oh, I bet. You're trying to get that, I guess, squeaky voice out and narrating an entire script. Oh, excuse me, that entire script with that voice. Mm-hmm. Oh man, it would hurt my voice. I guess
it's kind of like the Batman movies where it's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He has it sounds like he has like peanut butter on the roof of his mouth. It's like, oh,
right. I sometimes do. I don't do them much anymore, but with the Red Story scripts, I've done like a couple, voice cameos, and I'm just fretting about like two lines, like one or two lines. At least you're not narrating an entire script.
Yeah.
So Pringle, you just like hit the ground running.
Like, yeah, pretty much, man. It's always easier for me to just kind of go. So then, because what happens is that if I overthink it too much, or I sometimes I'll I'll scan it a bit, but I usually just kind of just go, and then I'm just pretty much boom, 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 boom. But sometimes it could be kind of difficult. Like for instance, you have times where it can just sound weird when I'm saying it out loud, and then I'm like, I ain't like that. So I'll actually be on that same line for maybe like 5-10 minutes, and it's like, oh, this is overkill right here, But it's pretty like, yeah, I just hit the ground running and kind of go from there real smooth. I don't have that much trouble. I used to have a lot more trouble in the beginning, like a lot more, but I've gotten a lot better at that.
Well, you've read a lot of scripts. You started in what, 2015?
Yeah, I think so. Somewhere around there, man. It's been a while.
I remember that because I started in 2016.
Yeah.
Back when it was only fact countdowns. Like, the Red Stories weren't around yet.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and Amphy, you actually do a read-through, you said. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
My brain likes to go a little faster than, anything. Or not my brain, my mouth, definitely. See, anyways, so if I don't read through it, I tend to run over words a lot. And it takes my recordings a lot longer. I'm a very big stickler for getting it right the first time. So if I don't, I do it at least 5 more times. It takes a while to edit because I can't really choose between certain lines. But, eventually it gets done. But it takes a long time.
So you guys also, in addition to narrating, you also edit? I thought Sid and Martian or whoever did that.
To my understanding, Martian he'll do sometimes those countdowns, which we don't do that much anymore.
Right.
But I think he's still doing some stuff, and Sid still does some stuff. Some of the stuff Sid does for me is he'll mess around with the volume and stuff like that a lot. Because I have this issue with I can't seem to get volume right, even though I've been doing it for long ass time. I just can't get it right, man. So all I really try to do is cut and edit where it's where the beginning of some blocks are, this is where one bullet point is, first one, second one, third one, and then I just cut and try to take away some of the mess ups and stuff like that and just clean it up for him.
Yeah.
Well, because I know Martian just edited the most recent PD video. It was actually my story time. So. Oh,
okay. There you go. Yeah. Nice.
I know you guys submitted story times too, not to get too off topic, but you two did, right? Story time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know I did, yeah.
All right. That was bugging me. I was trying to find them okay, I gotta prepare for this, but I couldn't find the videos. There's just so many.
It's because mine was done about 10 months ago. That's why. So it may have been harder to find mine if you were looking for that.
Well, it's probably like one of the first.
Yeah, I don't know if it was, but maybe. But I don't know if it was, but it was the one where I talked about like being in the Marine Corps and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, but it's like 10 months. I had to look for it too, and then I was like looking through the comments, man. It was so funny too because there's a comment that was like, "Oh man, I thought Pringle was some fat ass dude that just." I thought he was just some fat ass dude eating bonbons or something. I was like, damn, that was funny.
And poor Amphy, her story about being short, was it?
Yeah. See, for that story time, I replaced Paprika's shortness with like my real life baby face. I definitely look like a 12-year-old child, and I'll be 26 in August. So whenever people hear my age, they get really surprised or think I'm lying, and that's something I deal with when going to the store to get anything. But a lot of people like took it seriously. I've had so many people in my inbox ask me, "Are you really 2 feet tall?" You know?
Wow,
and I have
really?
to explain it to them over and
You're
over.
a midget?
Yeah. I have to explain over and over that like I'm average size, but I just have a very childlike face. I get mistaken as a kid a lot. And I mean it's cool when you go to like restaurants and stuff. But
hey, you get the kids menu.
Yeah.
Here's a crayon.
Yeah. And it's got its perks, but you know, it's got its downsides. It's pretty annoying to hear it every day.
I was gonna say, it must be a bitch trying to buy alcohol.
It is and isn't. The comment I get a lot when they see my ID is, "Wow, you look so young," and like, "Wow, you're like the 40th person to say that today."
You gotta tell them that you found the youth and you ain't giving it to nobody.
Damn
Yeah,
right.
really.
I know, yeah, damn right. But I just keep remembering what you said, Pringle, about just jumping in and narrating. It kind of made me think about back when we only did fact countdowns. When some of those there'd be like difficult names, for instance.
So that's exactly, man, definitely right there. That's exactly where there'd be times where I'm like, oh, I can't say this, man. I don't know. There were definitely times where I had no idea how to say some of that stuff.
Oh yeah, I've definitely had to Google a few words and use the translator. Like, please tell me how to say this word.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time when I thought maybe we should do like a Microsoft Word comment because these are written in Microsoft Word. There should be a comment on how to pronounce like difficult names or I guess country capitals or something like that. But I think we stopped around that same time, or at least I no longer did the fact countdowns. Yeah,
I actually think so too, man. Because I remember I mentioned that I was like, damn, this is I don't know how to say these words, man. Like, and like that actually ended up being a thing where you guys would put like the note on the side, and that helped a lot. I was like, oh, okay. But then I think afterwards, we kind of stopped using it as much. Yeah. Or the fact countdowns. Yeah,
because I know Dolan wanted to slowly phase out the fact countdowns and get more into like the storytelling stuff.
Yeah.
Which I really like as a fiction writer. But I do remember when I did the fact countdowns, with each like list item, like if it was like a fail or something, I would have to include the picture in there so you guys would know what you were talking about instead of just being a talking head.
Yeah, that helped a lot too.
This is all just coming back to me now.
Yeah, amazing. All right. It's been a while.
Yeah.
How long would it usually take for you to create one of those scripts, man? The story or the Reddit ones. How do you make them, actually? That's a better question. How do you make them, dear?
First of all, the Reddit stories are a lot easier than the fact countdowns.
Oh, yeah?
Because like the fact countdowns, I mean, you had to search the net for information about the certain topic. Whereas with the Reddit story scripts, I mean, the information is already there. So all I do is I read through our subreddit. I picked 10 stories that I thought were not only interesting, but also YouTube appropriate.
Yeah.
Because I'll admit, there are a few times where I used poor judgment, but...
We've all made mistakes,
man.
Yeah,
man.
We've all made mistakes.
That is for sure. But then after curating the stories, I mean, since the information is already there, all I would have to do is just put a PD character in there and edit it so it, clean up the language and make it readable.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it would, and when I say readable, not silently, of course, it's a script, it's supposed to be performed. So, just because you read something silently, it's like, okay, this reads fluidly. But then if you read it out loud, it sounds very jarbled and it just sounds really rocky and not good.
That's true because you don't take account of tone.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's really difficult because I can't match the vernacular. All of us have our different vernacular ways of reading things, and even if I knew who the script was going to, it would still be very difficult to do that. But anyway, to answer your question,
oh, that's good, man. I actually didn't. That's good to know, man.
For the Red Story script, it takes between curating the script and actually editing about a couple days.
Okay.
Well, it's just because Planet Dolan isn't my full-time job. So.
That's true. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Of course,
right.
Man.
But the fact countdowns, it would take especially if I had to do 2, it would be at least every day I would have to work on it. And you get the information, and then you have to write it in a rather, I guess, informal manner, where it's fun, but it's really difficult to make something as horrible as, say, what the most horrible things nannies did to children in their care sound fun, or not fun, but informal. Jeez. It was, that stands out, of course. It's also why, after that nanny script, it's why I did nothing but fails for a long time, because I wanted more lighthearted and funny scripts.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
Yes.
When you're assigning the characters to the stories, do you take into account their personality or anything, or is it just random?
I do take into account their personalities, or not just the personalities, but who they are. For example, Hellbent's a demon. So I try to make, in the scary stories one, if someone says, I thought I saw a demon in the hallway, well, I'll have Hellbent be the main character there. Hellbent sees a demon, even though no one's seeing Hellbent as a demon, if that makes sense. Or anything or maybe if there's a character who says, the worst thing that happened to me was someone stole my hat. Well, we all know Pringle wears a hat, so I'll have Pringle in there.
I took dude's hat, got it.
Yeah, he just wants one with a propeller.
Right, yeah, of course, man.
Yeah. But sometimes, towards the end, of the script, I'll sometimes, if I have, I don't know who would be in here. There's no certain characteristics of the contributor. Nothing the personality or content of the story or whatever stands out. So, up to that point, it's just whoever is left.
Right.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah. But I try to make it interesting. What's that?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, please.
I just like how we got some thought,
Yeah, right.
The decision making, it's like, oh no, I just put him in there, man. I don't really care, it just works out. Oh, okay.
I don't care. Well, towards the end, like I said, because I'm starting to run out of people, and of course I need 2 narrators, because not everyone's a narrator. I can't, if my character hasn't been used yet, well, I can't just say, well, I'll just put myself as a narrator, because I'm not a narrator.
Yeah.
Even though I do voice cameos. How long does it take for you guys to usually get done narrating a script?
Usually the Reddit scripts, they take around 30-35 minutes for me. And for the what's it called? The facts videos, the last one I did, or the first one I did was the one with Pringle, and that took me around an hour because I'm acting, so I definitely want to make sure that it feels more authentic than just reading a whole script by myself,
Oh, right, yeah.
So to have Paprika interacting with Pringle, I want to make sure it makes sense, even though I can't hear him.
You can't hear me. No, she's like, yeah, it's pretty true. For me, it's a Reddit script can take. It depends really. Sometimes they come out real long. You guys make it long for me. making me slave, out here. But it can go from like it can be like something between even 30 minutes to an hour between each of those. And the like the Super Planet Dolan ones, I do those pretty quick actually, because it's pretty easy for me to kind of act out. It's even easier for me to act out, like, as opposed to like reading it in a script.
All right.
Yeah, so like it's much easier for me to play a character than it is for me to read through stories and stuff.
Oh wow, we're like complete opposites on that.
Yeah. Those come out really quick. I'm like, oh, SPD, I give me like 20 minutes, and I kind of punch it out right there. Yeah.
And by the way, when I was saying fat countdown, Zolio, I'm talking about what Pringle used to do beforehand, just to clarify that for everyone.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dude. So I actually, there was one that I did a long time ago. You just reminded me. Man, I don't remember who wrote it. I think it was Tom, but oh my God. This thing was like, I don't know what it was, but it took me almost 4 to 5 hours to finish.
Oh,
and
God.
I was just done. I was like, oh, come on. Either you stop letting them write scripts, or we got to do something, because it took me such a long time. And sometimes what happened is that there would be like, they would come out too lengthy, and Dolan, fixed that sooner or later, like later down the line. They used to be really, really lengthy, and they felt too lengthy for it didn't need to be that lengthy. But what happened is a lot of the times there would be just so many words that I couldn't pronounce. So I would have to go online and then search up the word, translate it, and then I'm just over and over trying to figure out how to say the word. Because I have like I have a bit of what's the word? Oh man, I was gonna say twain, but I can't remember the other thing.
Accent, dialect?
Yeah, a bit of an accent. So there's like, it's like that thing of like, oh man, how you say this? Purr, and then it just comes out, and then I just, oh man, dude, I got so tired of it. But before, it would almost take me from an hour to 3 hours in between just to do those fat countdowns, depending on how long they came out or who wrote them.
So I clearly wasn't around when the fat countdowns were a thing, but I don't think I've ever seen one before. So what were they?
They're out there. They're out there.
Adventure is out there.
Yes. My God, the first one I was doing with with Dolan, first podcast here, talking about Planet Dolan stuff. I'm like, I even remembered like the very first one I did, script that I wrote. And the first two I did were, actually, I don't think I mentioned this though. They were test scripts. Because when you're applying to be a writer...
He got you?
Yeah, he has to, he needs to, he has to actually, he gives you like, a test. Here's a topic.
Did he use those?
He did use them, actually.
Yeah,
I'm like, why? The first one...
Test script.
The first one sucked. Oh my God. It was like the creepiest discoveries, and oh my God, it was horrible. I even know why he even put that up, but I think he's just trying to be nice because Tone's awesome.
He did that to me, man. I did one, and like, man, I got so much flack because of my accent. So then, like, it turned, it got pretty racist, but it was like, oh man, who's this Grand Theft Auto character? And I was like, oh man, I didn't know he was gonna use that. It was pretty funny though. It was pretty funny.
Oh jeez.
Oh man. I'll never forget it though.
But Pringle, I'm with you though. I don't like I try not to make my Reddit story scripts very long. Because, not only do I care about you guys and your vocal cords, but it's also a lot of shit to edit. I don't want to edit that shit.
I can imagine, because sometimes people kind of drift in their storytelling,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh man, get to the point.
I know. How much longer are you going to be circling the airport? Want to bring this baby in? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Of course, I can tell. I've been known to tell stories like that too, so to be fair.
Me too, but when every one of them is like, oh, okay, yeah, we got to do something about that.
I also don't like it when they, it's on topic and it'd make a great story, but it's only one sentence. But of course I can't use that because, I can't make anything up.
Yeah.
So there has to be some substantial writing. Can't be like, number 5 was submitted by blah, blah, blah. One time, he fell from a treehouse, broke his neck, and survived. And that's the end. The next one was submitted by. It's like what?
Straight into the point.
I know,
That's
right?
how I like it.
It's like he broke his neck. What happened?
Yeah.
I need more.
I don't care what happened. He just broke
Right,
his neck
exactly.
and he's good now.
He's good. Okay, I don't need anything else. But yeah, it's still probably not a bad, probably kind of a bad example, but just like,
Very.
I'm like, oh, it's just one sentence. It's too small. I can't use it. I'm sure with you guys it'd be heaven. You just have to say one sentence, and you know.
It's actually pretty funny. There's been some where like they just have an abrupt ending, and I'm like, damn, what happened? Like,
Well, sometimes they'll put in filler, like if the ending is too abrupt. Though I don't I don't like filler though. Like what I mean by filler is at the end I'll be like, that was the scariest thing Paprika ever experienced, or that was the weirdest thing Pringle ever saw at his school. I don't like doing that all the time because it can get tiresome, and I kind of think it's lazy writing too. But yeah, but you need some. I don't like ending it abruptly.
yeah.
Sometimes I don't have a choice.
Sometimes it's pretty funny though, you know.
Like, you know, her mom said, "I hate you." Number 5 was submitted by, you know, it's just very,
Right?
yeah, it's just too abrupt for my taste. So,
Oh, and to answer your question, Amphy, we had countdowns before. It was like when at one point Dolan was just Danger Dolan, and he did his own countdowns, and they were like a lot of like WoW type stuff, like video games, like top 10 secrets or something like that, you know. And he did that kind of thing. And then when he did the Planet Dolan merge, we did a couple of those. And the first one I did was, I don't remember what it was, but it was basically something similar, where it was like top 10 video game secrets nobody known. And then we would pretty much just kind of go from there in the past.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah, they were some of those topics, boy.
There's one, I'll never forget this one. There's one out there with the thumbnail, and it has a porn star, and then it has Dolan's pictures on the breast of the porn star. And I'm like, bro, that is true clickbait. This dude was just doing clickbait, man. Oh man.
I did see one of his videos had like a girl just standing and like her knees were backwards.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god, what the hell is that? So I clicked it. He got me though.
Yeah, my dude, he got me once too, man. I ain't gonna lie. I got by that clickbait. That's for sure, man.
But hey, it did its job, right?
Yeah.
You guys click on the videos.
Most definitely. Sometimes I'm like, oh, come on, don't do it, Pringle. And then I click and I'm like, I feel shame. I feel so much shame.
Nothing but shame.
Yeah, man, nothing but shame.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the one with. After this, I gotta look for the one with the Dolan head on that one was pressed now. That's gonna bother me now. Like, wonder what that one was.
I'm not sure. But that's pretty funny though. There was one that we did in the past, and it would be a great idea if we ever did it again. It was like we did like a countdown, but it was amongst all of us, and it was like all fake. It was all fake stuff. I forgot what it was. I think we did it for like an April Fool's, but
Yeah,
it was really cool.
I think.
Yeah. You have an idea what I'm talking about there?
Yeah. I think you're right. It was an April Fool's video.
Yeah, and it was just a bunch of fake stuff.
Right. Yeah. Right.
That was pretty good, man. You need to send that to Dolan. Because it was cool because it was amongst all of us. And we don't have too much where it's just mostly all of us. So that was a really cool idea.
Right. The only problem with doing April... I was going to suggest like Dolan do another April Fool's video, but the problem with those is... Well, first of all, they become very common now. It's like people will see it coming a mile away.
Yeah.
Especially if it's posted on April Fool's Day. So, yeah, people see... So it's not a very good idea.
And then I think one of the big problems, too, is that after April Fool's, then it's like, it kind of lost its allure. But,
Yeah.
You know.
Right. And that's the thing.
Nonetheless, it was pretty funny. I won't say that much.
Oh, I mean, just remember the controversy. Some of those fat countdowns. Like the bad fan art one, if you remember that one. I think it was Hellbent who narrated it, but it was like, the top 10 like worst fan art or something like that. Oh my god, people! This is probably putting it lightly. People crucified that video.
Oh man!
Oh my god!
Was it like genuine fan art?
Yeah, it was real fan art.
Oh, yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah,
this right here, this is straight garbage. He should never draw again. Yeah. Number 2.
No.
Mm-hmm.
It would crush me.
I mean, it's.
Oh man!
It was
the perfect person to do it, man.
I don't know, right? It was very cringe. I mean, I remember cringing at that video. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh man, it's funny. They got Hellbent to do that. You know, he was probably loving it.
Oh, you know he was. You know he was. But speaking of reading scripts, I want to ask you this, Amphy. When the very first script that you narrated, I'm sure you were very intimidated and nervous and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know.
I nervous laugh a lot. Leave me alone.
You're good. Yeah, I mean, I know what you mean, because not to keep bringing myself into this, but I mean, like when I had to narrate my story time, I was nervous. I'm like, oh my god, because I don't have a narrator's voice. I don't have a narrator's voice or anything, so like I don't know. We'll see how this goes, but I don't know. I guess people liked it, or seemed to.
I hope I don't mess this up.
Considering how this is something that happened to me.
It's funny that you say you don't have a narrator's voice when Paprika's voice is literally nails on a chalkboard, and that was like the purpose.
Right.
She was supposed to be like an annoying cat, you know, just like really laid back and did her own thing, but she was also like just like really annoying, like pet me but don't pet me kind of thing, you know.
Oh, right.
And her voice was supposed to reflect that, but it was like 50-50 in the comments. They were like, wow, I love Paprika, she's so cute. And then I got people saying they wanted to stab a screwdriver through my throat.
Then you did it right.
Yeah,
they'd be like, it ain't no Shima, but whatever, I hate her.
Oh no, I got that so much. I remember getting stuff in my inbox saying, you'll never replace Shima, and I'm like, okay. That's not the point.
Oh man.
I was gonna say, you did your job though. I mean,
yeah, you did it right.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I wasn't like, I thought I was going to get like really insecure about it, but the more I thought about it, I was like, I mean, I'm getting paid, so like, it's all good.
Exactly. You have the right mindset. That's what I told I was like, I'm getting paid, so I mean,
yeah,
I could be any character from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas you want me to be, man.
Did you ever think about doing like creating a voice yourself, Pringle? Like when you first began?
Well, I mean, I have voices. I definitely have different things I could have used, but I just used my own thing. They didn't tell me anything else, so I just kind of ran with what I knew. So I just did what I usually have, like my normal voice. But I actually have a lot of voices that I could have used in thinking of that now.
Interesting.
Yeah, I definitely. I got like a whole, man, I can even beatbox, dude. I got like all kinds of weird sounds and stuff. Yeah, I can beatbox and all that stuff. Man.
Can we like hear a little bit?
Yeah, I don't think it sounds that good over here because it's like on the Discord. But yeah, sure. Let me see. Let me see. I can never do that drum roll anymore.
Dude, that sounds awesome.
That does, man. I think it does.
Yeah. I definitely. I have like a whole bunch of voices that I could use if I ever got to using them. But like since I just use my normal voice, I just roll with that. But it's definitely been times where I'm like, I should try. I just try other voices whenever I get the opportunity. Like for anytime there's like scripts where it's like, oh, it's Melissa's voice, and then I just use like, oh, I'm Melissa, and then you just change the voice for whatever. I make Melissa sound like a really
like English man voice.
Yeah, I can do the Black Reverend, and I say to you, we got to take these devils out. And I'll put Melissa and use her voice and make her into an old Black Reverend Negro spiritual type of thing.
I need you in one of your next scripts to please do like a thick Savannah accent.
Savannah, I'm not sure. What's Savannah again?
Savannah accent.
Savannah accent.
Savannah, like molasses.
Molasses. I'm gonna need you to get those molasses. Yeah, I definitely play around a lot with the voices and stuff like that. I just always use my normal voice. I don't know why, but I just used it. And then they ended because also what happened is that we didn't have a character before. Now that I remembered. So then the character came afterwards. Then the voice came because it was the same thing I think with Hellbent. Really, only Shima had a character with her voice, and Dolan did. And then later down the line, they made something for us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the voice. Yeah, so the character came after the voice.
Did you get to create your character, or was it made for you?
Oh, it was made for me. They showed me like a picture of it, and then I was like, hey, I like this. And then originally the character didn't have the hat, so the only thing I added was the hat because I was like, well, that's how I am. It's kind of like a fun type of thing. The hat is supposed to be like it's supposed to be a perfect symbol of fun.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the propeller hat was my idea.
The silhouette for the character is actually really recognizable, so the hat was a really good touch to make it even more so.
Yeah. Because the character came, Sweet Commando made it, and I think then Vim like fixed it up, but Sweet made it after a character. I don't know if you guys ever seen the anime called Bobobo, but there's like a character named Jelly Jiggler, and that's where the character came from. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, man. I was like, I really like that character from Bobobo too, man. He's hilarious.
I want to thank you, Pringle, for not giving your character an alien voice after you find out your character's an alien.
I'm a Martian. Some weird ass voice like, I am a Martian. What's an ET? What ET?
ET phone home. I can't do
that. Yeah, like ET phone home. I need to go back to my home planet.
I like that he's like just like a chill alien dude. He's like, I'm not from here, but like we can hang.
Yeah, that's the point. It's exactly how I am. That's pretty much how I am. So,
while you're telling him, while you're telling him in that one SPD video to turn himself into a tomato so he can squash his ass.
Yeah.
That was a great video.
Yeah, it was good. I really like it. Amphy did pretty good on that one too. Yeah,
that was
thanks.
Yeah, you did really good. Wasn't that?
Yeah, that was really good.
I want to say that was your first SPD video, right, Amphy? Mm-hmm. It was very good.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I've done voice acting not professionally, but as a hobby in my past. So I like acting. I think it's really fun. I like to not be me a lot.
Right?
As sad as that sounds.
That's what it really is. I'm like, man, I ain't trying to be me tonight. It's time to put up this mic.
It's really fun to like get to breathe life into, especially a character you've created yourself. Mm-hmm. I was going to have somebody else voice her, but I have a friend named Sarah who, I don't know if you guys know League of Legends, but the character Jinx, she voices her.
I think I've heard of the character.
Yeah, she's got like the blue twin tails and stuff. But I based her voice off of her, and
oh, you know her?
Yeah.
The person that voices that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah,
cool.
She's super cool. She hit me up on Twitter when I was getting ready to move to California. And she was like, hey, are you coming to California? We should hang out. And I'm like, wow, this is the first time we've spoken, and you're really nice to me already. Yeah, let's hang out.
This is cool.
Nice.
It's really awesome.
Like, I just realized, too, like, speaking of, like, voice actor friends, I had a buddy. I don't know if you ever played Hat in Time. I didn't even know, but he was he voiced the character. It was like the guy that sells the soul. Like he steals the soul from the main character, and then he tries to sell it, and he voices one of the characters in the game. And I was like, yo, that's pretty dope, man. Stuff like that is really cool. Little voice acting people and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Small world, huh?
Yeah,
definitely.
Small world, big people, or something, man.
Or at least to Paprika.
Right? Yeah. Right.
Oh, that's a good one.
Thank you. Moo Cluck, if you're listening, put the next SPD script with Paprika in it.
Right.
That'd be a good Hellbent insult for her.
There you go.
I would love to see Hellbent and Paprika together just one time. I think that'd be so fun.
You gotta make it happen. Let's go, Dolan. Let's go, Sid.
It's like complete Hellraisers.
It actually might be cool to, I actually mentioned this in the last one. It might be cool to have, in an SPD video, have Hellbent and my character in there. Because they're two polar opposites.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that'd be pretty good, man.
I'm like, I mean, it's not up to me, and I guess that's kind of a good thing. Because I don't know. Like I said, I'm not much of a narrator. I'm more of a writer, even though I don't do SPD scripts.
You know, you just reminded me, man. You ever seen Adventure Time?
Yes, I have, actually.
You remember, you ever seen the Princess, I forgot the chick with the lumps, Princess Lumps or something like that for her name?
Lumpy Space Princess.
Lumpy Space Princess. The creator of the show voices her.
Oh,
so you just reminded me that.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey.
The creator of the show voices Lumpy Space. I don't know, Finn. Yeah, he voices her. It's hilarious.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I was like, because I first heard it, I was like, that's gotta be a dude. I don't. That ain't no chick, man.
Sounds a little too masculine, eh?
Yeah, man. It's all about my lumps. Yeah, it's hilarious, dude. But you just reminded me of that. That's why sometimes the writers, or some of the writers, can be actually great voice actors. But I think for him, he just made up a voice, and he was like, all right, I'll just run with it.
I don't want to say I was about to say we were fooled, but well, no, because like I just said, it sounds a little too masculine to be of. But then again, who am I to judge? It's like my voice is dripping masculinity compared to Hellbent.
Oh, yeah. Well, he sounds like he has peanut butter in his mouth all the time. That's why, man. What you mean? Like, I was like, yo, you should have seen what they used to say back then, man. When he was making videos back in the day. Oh man, they were so savage at him, man.
Oh, I heard they hated him. Man. Poor guy.
It was hilarious. He knew it was funny. We all laughed at it, though.
Yeah. Well, the thing used to be, are you using a voice modulator, Hellbent?
Yeah, that's what they told him. Yep, they used to say that to him. It was like, no, that's his real voice, man. I could tell that when I first heard it. I was like, no, voice. It's just really, really deep.
Yeah, that is. I'm like, yeah, I could tell it wasn't doctored in any way. I'm like, yeah, that's the guy's real voice, and damn, is it deep.
You know the guy that does all those trailers for movies?
Yeah.
That's his real voice.
Oh, yeah.
In a world. Yeah, that dude that'd be like, in a world where there's only two men. Yeah, that's his real voice.
Two brothers.
Yeah. In the world where there's two brothers, two men. That dude that does all of those trailers like that from like the 90s, 80s, and the movies nowadays, that's the same guy, man. And that's his real voice.
Damn, am I the only one, after hearing that, am I the only one here who wants to hear him read a Dr. Seuss book?
He's probably had weird requests like that too, man. I wouldn't be surprised.
Or the guy who plays Jigsaw in the Saw movies. Read.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that dude. Get one of those guys. I was like, man, this turn, for some reason, because of his depth, I don't care about the green eggs and ham. It sounds real scary right now, man.
I am. Sam, I am.
Yeah, man.
That's my best Jigsaw right there. It's only me. Don't be scared. This is before you came here, Amphy. But Pringle, remember it was very brief, but remember when you used to do those fanfic videos? Fanfiction?
Yeah, I don't think so.
It was very brief. It
must have been real brief, yeah.
It was like, one was like Ladybot and Melissa. Another was Doopy and Melissa, well, back when her name was Doopy. Or I like to call the Pecan, the artist formerly known as Doopy.
Oh, yeah. You gotta say the whole name like that, man.
I do.
The third.
Yeah, right. I think I remember doing something like that. And I'm trying to remember. I do remember that I think I did something like that with like Critical.
Yeah.
You did something like that with Critical. Yeah. And it was weird stuff. It was like those weird fanfics where like Kyle and Gergak are making out or something like that. One of those really weird gay ones. It was like, yeah. I remember what you're talking about.
Hey, one shipped you and Hellbent. So
yeah, one of them shipped me in Hellbent. Yeah. There is some stuff out there, man. You could find it. If anybody's listening to this, you can find if you go like you could just do PringleTheOne X Hellbent and you'll find plenty of like weird fanfics on. I think there's even one with like I remember I saw this fanfic. It was either me or Shima, and it was like Shima or PringleTheOne X boats, and it was just a fanfic of like getting down with boats. Like it was so weird, man.
Boats?
There's some weird fanfic. Yeah, like boats. Like we're talking like
Like ships?
You know, you go, like cruise ships, like.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Hot.
Yeah, it's weird. It's really weird. It had some weird stuff, man.
You're telling me that's not sexy to you? Getting down on a boat?
Yeah, I put it down on an anchor.
Oh, jeez.
An anchor.
You made my anchor extend.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, I do remember those fanfics of. We did a very small amount, but they were pretty. Yeah. It's because I think it was Ladybot that was like writing them out, and she wrote some weird stuff, man. And then I think she maybe took some from other places, but she wrote some weird stuff.
Well, I think the main reason. Now, I don't know for sure. Dolan might have told me, but I probably forgot. But I think it was just scheduling, you know, a whole voice chat because I remember you guys would be in a voice chat.
Mm-hmm.
On here, just reading the script.
Yeah, man.
And it was just, I mean, organizing can be a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hello, I mean, we've been trying to get together since October.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Oh man, life.
Yeah, life. Like I said, life. I mean, I've been busy. I've been super busy too. But yeah, I think that's another reason. I think that was the main reason. It was just an organizational nightmare. But I remember, like, oh my god, I was thankful that my character wasn't around because I was afraid who I'd be shipped with.
They shipped everybody with weird. Like, it was just some weird ships, man. It was funny though. It was funny.
It was hilarious.
I think the ship I see the most, like, just Googling Planet Dolan, is Nixium and Hellbent.
Oh yeah, that's the one a lot of people like. I think that's the. I think that's safe to say the favorite amongst Planet Dolan fans.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of the deep voices. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's okay. I also saw like a Dolan and a Doopy one, and I was like, nope.
Probably not. Yeah, I mean, Dolan's a married man.
No.
Yeah, there is definitely a lot of Nixium and Hellbent. I think it's just more so the darkish kind of characters, you know, like the demon and the I guess Nixium is like some sort of like World of Warcraft character type thing.
Yeah, like
he's
elf.
like a night elf.
Yeah, the night elf. There we go. Yeah, so there you go, like these darkish type of characters. That, and I think it's the voice, the deep voices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what really it sells it out to.
Yeah, we all know that in the one SPD episode that Nixium and Hellbent did together, we could tell that it was all very overly passionate flirting. Come on, guys.
Right?
We all know that.
There was some serious hugging and nothing more.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, towards the end of that video, they were doing more than wrestling. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now. This is getting really disturbing.
You're fine.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's been a lot more. There have been episodes of the show that have been a lot more raunchy. I mean, once again,
oh yeah, definitely, man.
Oh my god, when we did that, when Spinal Palm Hellbent and I did that comedy episode, yeah, it was fun.
Oh boy.
But anyway,
we need to bring back some of that raunchy stuff, man.
Come on, man. I honestly think that's what. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that. I mean, I really think that's what brought a lot of people to, Planet Dolan videos. Because sometimes we do fact countdowns or definitely Reddit story scripts where they would be raunchy, and people want to see that. And people want to see that, but
I swear to you, Derek. At one point, there was comments that they were saying, "Man, I don't know what it is, but don't they seem a little bit more raunchy to you guys?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we just started getting nastier as time went on.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. Like, we're all in on this joke, like, without even noticing. It's like, yeah. That sounds wrong. Let's do that.
Wow.
Well, I mean, what can you say about a Red Story script? Where I remember one topic was times we were cut in the act.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was fun.
Oh man, it's like we don't want them to get comfortable. It's like they're great kid friendly. Oh, kid friendly. Oh hell no, we gotta fix that, man.
Kid friendly, my ass.
Pull out the 10 times we caught our parents doing it. Let's go, man.
Oh, good lord! Thank God there wasn't a topic like that. Wow.
That's traumatizing.
Yeah, I know.
Oh
right?
man, we gotta get them uncomfortable, man. Can't get them too comfy.
There's like, you even the thumbnail of the one of the Red Story script video, where times we were caught in the act. You see Nixium like naked and handcuffed to a bed. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
put some black sensor bars there, man. Keep trying to see how far we can get past the line,
Right.
The bar thinner and thinner.
Yeah, exactly.
But as a writer, I can say that it is important to push the envelope. Just don't push it off the table, if you know what I mean. Seriously.
Yeah.
Because, like I said before, not everything is appropriate for YouTube, and as a writer, I gotta watch out for that.
You gotta keep the P's and Q's up.
Right. Oh, I'm sorry. I just keep picturing Nixium on that bed. Oh well, thank God it wasn't me.
That's what it really comes down to. Good thing.
Yeah, good thing. Yeah, better him than me. Like a friend of mine keeps saying, Derek, your character isn't fat. He's fluffy. Yeah, fat. Okay.
That's
nice.
just a nicer way of putting it, man.
Something I want to ask you, Pringle. This is a long time ago now. This is back in the fact countdowns when we did fact.
Oh
countdowns.
Man, don't tell me you've had this question for the last 2-3 years and you haven't asked me.
Oh no. I know. You're good. Do you remember the intro? Like before every fact countdown, the narrator would always have an intro.
Yeah.
An animated intro. Like you were like, "Hey, what's up? PringleTheOne in the building. How are we doing today?"
Yeah.
Did you write the whole thing yourself, or was it Dolan?
I just made that up. I kind of did that off my normal channel, right. And then I just tweaked a little bit of it. And that's really it.
Hey, got some crazy content for your face.
Oh yeah. So I think actually that was more so Dolan actually that made that one up. I think I kind of talked to him with it, but yeah, that was something that like I don't remember I haven't heard that in such a long time.
I actually just watched a video with that, so that's how I remember. Otherwise, I wouldn't remember.
Face! Yeah, man, I like that one a lot.
Your face! This is what you missed, Amphy. This is what you missed.
Right?
Yeah. I love it, though. I love hearing people's stories.
Yeah.
We definitely, I don't know, I'm assuming that Hellbent and Dolan definitely talked about, like, wanting to do more things together. Did they mention that on the last podcast?
Doing more things together, like... Within the Planet Dolan, or just...
Yeah.
I don't remember any talk like that. Towards the end, Hellbent and I were, like, talking to Dolan about doing an SPD together, but although I was more doing it in jest, I don't think Hellbent was doing it in jest.
No, I think he was serious. See, I know Hellbent would have probably like, yeah, man, we need to definitely get more of us together, because there's stuff like this is really... it's really important. Right. I'm glad you took the time to do this, Derek, because it's really important for us to kind of talk amongst us, especially with, it's like if you worked in a cubicle setting or an office environment and you don't like nobody. That's what it is. Like, nah, I don't talk to them. Yeah, you just typing away angry. It's like, but it's good to like converse amongst us. So thanks, man.
Exactly. Oh, no problem. Not only did I think this might be fun for everyone, but also... I think it might be an interesting experience for the fans,
Yeah, definitely.
Erase experience, please. But I think it might be interesting for the fans. Forget I said experience. This is a podcast, not a Universal Studios Orlando ride. But I think it might be... Yeah.
It would be fun if that was the case.
Yeah. But something the fans might want to know. And yeah, I do agree with Hellbent. We do need to get together more often. And not for a podcast per se, but... just to talk, even if it's just a talk, or we used to play. You guys used to play games all the time.
Yeah, man. I've been so busy, but before around like the year or two that I was in, a lot of us would just play video games together, and it was like, and we had Amphy, you were in the server, right? The Discord, the Planet Dolan Discord.
I think.
We don't even know. See,
I don't think she is.
It's not the Derek Discord, right?
Nah, see, she's not even in.
Yeah,
no.
Not
so we used to actually play a lot of stuff together, or we would just hang out and talk. I can't do it as much as before, just because of all these things that's happening with my life currently. But it was something we used to do a lot more, and we used to play a lot more games. And I want to be able to do that type of stuff again with you guys because that was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah, because sometimes we've been getting new people, man. I'll be honest, I didn't even know who they were. I'm like, what? We got a new person, and then it's actually like my girlfriend that tells me we got a new person. I was like, when did we get a new person? I was like, I'm under a rock over here, man.
Like right here. I mean, Amphy, it's great talking to you. You're brand new. It's great talking to you. Yeah, it's great having you on here.
Yeah, it's really fun to like finally get to talk to the people I work with. Like, I'm super shy, so it's not likely I'll reach out, but I think it's really a really good opportunity to finally get to know everybody. I
mean, this is truly, working for Planet Dolan, and okay, here's the corny alert, people. Plug your ears if you don't want to hear it.
I'm all for the corn, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I've said this on Twitter a few times, but working for Planet Dolan, I never thought I'd be working with such talented people. This is great. Not just talented, but fun to talk to, and like Hellbent said, we don't do it nearly enough.
Yeah, I know he's been saying it all the time.
I know, man. But yeah,
But he's right.
But I feel very lucky, very fortunate to work with such awesome people.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was extremely corny.
I told you.
That was all the corny, man. But likewise, it's true, man.
I tried warning everyone.
All this corn.
Oh, this corn.
Right? This corn.
Yeah,
well, you're right, man.
Yeah, and I'm expecting Paprika to come in here and beat me with that big ass hammer, same hammer she used to squash you with. No more corny shit, there. Boom.
You're right, man. I definitely agree, man. I appreciate being able to work with you guys. I was fortunate enough the same way as you, man. Fortunate enough to actually be able to do the Dolan stuff because it did help me get out of my current situation when I was living with my family, and it wasn't too good. So it helped me leave that place.
Oh, good.
Yeah, man. So much stuff in the past. So much stuff. One of the reasons why I vanished. But yeah, it's definitely great, and it's good to meet. Since we have Amphy, she's kind of new, or maybe she's been around for a couple of months, and I'm still considering her new because I haven't had much conversations with her. But
yeah.
How about
but
this?
It's good to meet you too,
Right.
Thanks, you too, man.
How about this new-ish?
Newish, yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Like a year in.
Yeah.
A year in. Oh man, I am under a rock.
Well, like I first started just doing the illustration videos for the Reddit stories, and I did 2 of them, and then I started to burn out, so I was like, I need to kind of like chill it with those, and I was like, if you guys are like needing any new voice actors, I'm super down. I really like doing this stuff, and Dolan was like, yeah, send me what you got, like make a character, and I was like, okay.
Nice.
It's been fun ever since.
Nice. A year, man. Jesus.
Wow.
I've definitely been out of the times with like everything, man. My life has taken like a 180, man. I don't know, so much different things happen. So been real busy on that end. But yeah, it's good to see you around, man. It's good to see you two around here. It's good to talk to you guys too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you too.
Like we were saying, it's just been too long between you and I, Pringle.
Yeah, I know, right? It's been too long with everybody in Dolan, man.
Everyone.
I think that I actually talked to Elvin like I think it was 2 weeks ago, and it was just because he was streaming. And then everybody else I haven't talked to in a while, like even Dolan. I think I've sent a message here and there with Sid, but I think it's been business related, so it don't really count. So yeah, I definitely get you there, man. It's been a while, man.
But speaking of applying for Planet Dolan, do you remember your, experience applying for Planet Dolan, Pringle? Like what you had to do?
Oh, man. Oh, so like my friend actually told me about it. I didn't know anything about this stuff. So my friend told me, he's like, hey, man, why don't you apply for this? And I was like, oh, all right, man. But, I had a bad thing happen recently where it was like this. It's a real long story. It's not something I want to get into. Well, I do want to get into it, but not now because it's so damn long.
No, you're okay.
But it was something happened, and I got so jaded with any of those type of things online where they're trying to, help, quote unquote, bunny ears, help people with their channels and stuff like that. So when I applied for it, I just applied showing my channel, and then he responded I think a week or two later, and then he just told me to read this script, and that's where I told you about. Okay, and then I didn't know that it was he was gonna use it, and it threw me off. I was like, I look, he posted the video and all that stuff, and I was like, oh man, this is horrible, man. But the comments were hilarious. But yeah, a friend of mine just told me, and I just applied from there. It was pretty easy, I'd say. It's really weird because people will nowadays, like before, and sometimes they still do. They'll ask me, "How did you get in Planet Dolan?" And I'm like, "Man, I just applied, man. How do you get anything in life?"
That's what I say too. Like, yeah, dude, I just answered an ad, man.
Yeah, exactly, man.
So, I mean, you had to voice like a test script as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I asked you if he used that script of yours. That's why.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like that's his thing, man.
It was a thing. I mean, it was kind of my fault, to be honest. I mean, I just asked him innocently, not in a passive-aggressive way, but is this going to be used? He's like, we can't, something like, we can post it. I'm like, me and my big mouth. I gotta just learn how to shut the hell up. Okay. So you only had to voice like one script, Pringle?
Yeah, I only had to voice one script at the time, and then he just started kind of like giving me more and more from there.
Okay. Yeah, with me
because sorry.
Oh, please.
I think it was just me, Hellbent, Shima, Dolan. I think Pipe Attack was there. The rare Pipe Attack nobody talked.
Oh yeah,
Pipe Attack, the legendary Pipe Attack. He's only been around for 2 videos, dude. Everybody's like, "Where's Shima?" I was like, "Where's Pipe Attack?"
I know.
I think Pipe Attack was there for a bit, but I'm not sure. And then Dolan's brother, to my understanding, like voiced some stuff. But it was really just Hellbent, Dolan, me, and Shima at the time.
Well, I had to do 2 scripts.
Yeah.
And I think that was because he wanted to see how versatile I was as a writer.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, with fact countdowns, you have to do, well, with really any script, Reddit stories, fact countdowns, whatever. Some of them have like scariest things that happened when we were home alone versus the funniest things we've seen in school. I mean, those are 2 entirely different, like, genres, if you will. And you want to make sure I could write. Well, this is back in fact countdowns, so you want to make sure I could write kind of serious scripts and then more of like a comical one. That's why I had to do 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a variety.
Sense. Yeah, they gotta test you and test your might and make you try out different kinds.
And I totally get it. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
So Amphy, I can't remember. You were given a test script, or was your audition basically just your story time?
I don't remember being given a script. But my memory is just really bad. I do remember just making up some lines for Paprika and just sending it to him, and he was like, "Are you sure you want to like do this voice like all the time?" And I was like, "Oh, is it bad?" And he was like, "No, I just like your health, I was like, "Oh, no, I can, it's fine, I don't mind." And he was like, "Well, that props to you, then go for it." And I was like, "All right, okay, cool." And he was like, "Oh, okay, here's some scripts, bye." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Nice.
That's funny.
Just gonna throw you off a cliff to see if you can fly, eh?
Yeah.
That's how man. That's how he does it. I swear, that's how he enjoys it.
I think the first script or at least what I've heard Paprika was her story time, because I don't remember her in any scripts before that.
Yeah, I did some Reddit stories before that.
Okay.
My story time was a couple months after I was doing some scripts. It was funny because a lot of people in the comments when I first came out, there was like 3 comments that just like kept repeating the entire time. I thought this was Pipe Attack. Yeah, because the little name at the corner was PA, so people got really excited.
Wow.
I think he did it on purpose, man.
Yeah, it was like
Pipe Attack. Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah, so it was, I thought this was Pipe Attack. Who is this squeaky mouse bitch? And I love her. She's cute,
Wow.
So yeah, there was like a neutral, a negative, and a positive. So I was like, that's fine.
You got all 3 of the worlds right there.
Jeez.
Yeah, but there were times where I would read the Reddit story scripts, and I would have to take a second because the absurdity of some of these stories, I was like, oh my god, this can't be true, but maybe it is. I don't know. These people's lives are insane to me. My life is so boring, so I might believe it anyway.
Yeah, I don't think most of those Reddit stories actually happened.
Yeah, there was one story I had to I had to read. It was Hellbent's character, and there was it was Nixium. He was in a restaurant and there was a kid and his family and they were eating, and Nixium was sitting across from them, and the little kid kept saying the N-word. So Nixium was getting tired of it and went up to the kid and punched him in the face.
Oh my god.
And the dad came over. The dad came over and gave him $20 and said thank you. I was like, what?
It's like, you taught my son a lesson I can never teach him.
And in the story, whoever was writing it said that Nixium was trying to be modest, and was like, oh, I couldn't accept this $20, but took it anyway. And I was like, wait, what?
So he's not even really modest.
So you punched a child and the father thanked you?
He's like, oh, I shouldn't have, but you're welcome.
I mean, there are a lot of crazy things in this world, but I don't know. Some stories like that I doubt happen.
I was like, I had to take a second. I was like, wait, no.
Well, Amphy, at least you weren't here when we first began the Reddit stories, where I only had to curate 9 stories, and the last story had belonged to the voice actors. The voice actors had to either create their own story, or if they had one on topic, they had to tell it.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, consider yourself lucky.
Yeah, so I actually enjoy that, but then a part of me was like, I'm actually happier it's gone.
Yeah, there you go.
I sometimes would, I feel like I would either make the story pretty mediocre, I couldn't make one up, or it just didn't come out how I wanted it. So I'm actually kind of glad that happened. But I did make up, the stories that I usually brought up were real. Almost all of those stories that I said in those number 10s were almost pretty much real. 80% of it was pretty real. I will say that much.
80% is a lot.
Yeah.
99.9 was real.
Right? 99.9. Yeah. I changed a couple of places and names probably at that point.
I could see how you guys would be happy that's over with, because the pressure would be on, okay, well, I have to create something now. Dig into my past. So, that pressure. So I could see why you'd be glad that's gone, but at the same time, well, that is assuming you had a story that was relevant.
Yeah, sometimes that was actually the harder part. Sometimes I didn't have anything related. I've never had this happen to me. So that would be the hard part, and then that's where I would have to make something up.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it could be immersive for fans to get to know these characters and their lives and stuff, but at the same time it's you're being put on the spot.
Yeah.
And some people it's just hard for some people to be put on the spot, especially me, right now.
You put yourself on the spot. That's true, though.
Just
You're right.
nervous laughter and just walk away.
Yeah. Oh. You just walk away. Yep.
Like I said before, I really like the new direction Planet Dolan's taking. Not that I dislike the fact countdowns, not that speedy stuff, but the fact countdowns on the main channel. And now it's more story-oriented, which I like as a fiction writer. It was just a comment I was making. It wasn't a question.
Yeah. You're right, man. Because the problem with the fact count, it's it kind of gets to the point where people get kind of burn out of it. They don't want to see that kind of stuff. They're like, yeah, what is this crap? More of these. Everybody started doing it. It's weird though now, Derek, because now I want to see more fact countdowns with anything else in my life. I'm like, man, this takes too long. Just give me another top 10 video games I probably should try out. I'm like, I'll more than click that nowadays than actually something to value.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, definitely, man. It can get kind of tiring with those top 10s because you punch out so many, it's you're going to start probably regurgitating some, and then it's not as amazing,
Right, and an example is, like I said before, I did all those fail videos, Halloween fails, Easter fails, back to school fails. Fails here, fails there. And it just got to the point where it's like, okay, I think I'm starting to reach here for time.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Starting to grasp for them. But what I don't miss about Fat Countdowns is, I mean, if you made one little mistake, I mean, not only like the voice actor mispronouncing a name, but the writer, in my case, doesn't do, kind of got a fact wrong. Oh my god. You thought the vile people spewed for our bad fan art video was bad. Oh my god. Mess up on narrating or researching a script, and you'll have people be like, do better research next time.
They're savage, man. That's not how you say that. I'm like, come on, man. You don't even know how to say it, so calm down. Like, yeah, people reaching your throat for that, man. You're right, dude.
I know.
Definitely right.
I mean, I shouldn't bring them up, but I think looking back, they're amusing. I remember it was like a Thanksgiving fails video, and I bring that up because you narrated it.
Yeah.
And I think there was this one where I saw this picture, and it was a sign outside of a church that I guess they're having like a Thanksgiving dinner or something. And, well, first of all, two things. Interesting story. First of all, I said, I thought the fail was they had October, come to our Thanksgiving dinner, and there's like dates in mid-October. Well, at the time, I didn't know that Canada had its own Thanksgiving on those dates, and so the church could have been in Canada. Of course, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, and it's like people are like, of course, Canada has Thanksgiving too, and blah 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 blah. And then while the video was playing, I realized that wasn't why I chose that. I mean, I didn't notice it when I initially chose that picture as part of the list. It was because they spelled Thanksgiving wrong. That was the only reason. So I chose the wrong fail.
Oh man!
And there's another one that Nixon narrated. It was the amusement park accidents one. Well, there was this kid who, really tragically, was decapitated by this roller coaster. It was horrible. It was horrible.
Nice.
Yeah. And
Pringle.
I know.
Oh my god, he lost it.
I know.
Did he like fall off? Like, how the hell did that happen?
It's one of those hanging coasters. They hang from the track,
dude.
where your feet are dangling. And well, he and
that's the worst way to die, man.
And this article I used for my research that had the kid had jumped the fence because according to that, the kid was trying to sneak back into the park. And I found out later that the roller coaster came and tragically decapitated him. But
he deserved it there.
But the thing is, that reporter got their facts wrong because in reality, he had ridden the ride before, but climbed the fence because he had lost his hat during the ride. So you can imagine, the uproar from our
Wait. So this kid goes back in there because he lost his hat?
Yeah, his hat flew off when he was riding the ride.
But didn't he see that the machine was still going? Why didn't he just ask the people there that work there?
I know, right?
That kid is stupid. That was natural selection, man.
Oh my god.
He wasn't supposed to live past a certain age.
Anyway, point is, that's it. That comes with whether you're a voice actor or a writer for Planet Dolan or really any major YouTube channel. We're major, damn it. And because, people will seem to look for any little thing, any little mistake, and that's something you gotta get used to. Because back then, one of the reasons I brought up was, it was new to me. I'm like, I felt so bad. I even messaged Dolan like, do we have to print a retraction or blah, blah, blah? Are you
gonna take this, Dolan? I don't think I can handle this, man.
Yeah.
No. It's not over, man. It's not over.
So, but I eventually got used to it. But yeah, I just thought it was funny that I'm like, oh my god. It was like, can you say overreacted? But
oh, people in the comments are ruthless. Like they just don't care, and it's like you want to be upset, but you can't because the absurdity. It's insane. Someone commented on one of Paprika's videos, and they like quoted a meme for the story time where I was talking about like looking short or Paprika being short and stuff. And they quoted a meme saying, "Shut the fuck up, I'm 11," and I screenshotted it. I wanted to print it out so bad. It was really funny.
I take pictures of the bad comments and laugh so hard. Oh man, they're hilarious.
Well, isn't it obvious? Pringle Amphy is secretly creating a coffee table book, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, horrible comments.
Absolutely. I read it to myself to bed.
Of course. It would help me sleep if I read all my funny comments too.
Oh, jeez.
Oh man, they're so racist. It's hilarious, man.
Oh no.
Oh, that's horrible.
Oh man. But now it's definitely not as bad, I would say, with the comments, just because I've been around the block for a bit, but sometimes there's always that good one here and there.
I don't think most of them care. Like if you guys mispronounce words or something, like in a video, I don't think most of them, they don't care. They're just being trolls. I mean, simply put.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah,
definitely trolls.
It's still hilarious sometimes. So.
Water under the bridge troll.
I know, man. Out of all these years of writing these scripts, because I used to have, the script was written by me, and I actually enclosed my email address, like when I was new. Because back then, I don't think a lot of people knew who I was, but I included that in case a voice actor had a question about something I wrote. Like, what did you mean by this sentence? Or something like that. And no one ever contacted me. Like, no one ever had a question. I think, there was one instance, but it was actually Pringle. Other than that, I was thankful that people understood what I was getting at. Or either that, they didn't want to understand it, they just wanted to say it and then make fun of it. What the hell was this?
That's the savage way.
Yeah, man.
Oh, that's funny though.
Pringle, thank you very much for reading the optional jokes I would make in the comments.
Oh yeah, of course, man. I get it sometimes,
yes.
Man.
Because back in Fact Countdowns, if I ever had a joke, I would put it in the word comments, and I'd always put in parentheses optional, like, you don't have to read this, but if you want to, here it is. Because I didn't want to put it in the script. Yeah, I didn't want to put the joke in the script because I didn't. Well, first of all, a lot of people, or that is most people, don't share my sense of humor. And so if they thought the joke was stupid or whatever, or if they had a better joke, they could bypass it. And of course I wouldn't do that in the more serious scripts, but... So yes, anyway, thank you.
No problem, man. I like being able to add... Especially with the writers, man. You guys sometimes don't get chances to put more flavor if you can. So if you have a chance, I say go for it, man. And then we can do whatever we can with it.
Yeah, that would be really fun.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't do it with Reddit stories for obvious reasons, but it's too bad. Which I think is too bad, but what I do like is, like after Reddit stories, like or during one even, sometime when the voice actor, and Pringle, you've done this before, would comment on the content, like I comment on the story, which I think I think it adds some, for lack of a better word, spice to it. Because it makes it funny. Right? Like after a story, I mean, I remember Pringle after this one story. I forgot which one it was, but you just burst out laughing.
Oh yeah. And then I'm like, because I can edit that out, and I'm like, I don't want to edit that out, right. And then Sid will keep that there, and then that's cool when he does keep it there. Because
it makes you guys characters. Like, it makes you guys more like characters and not talking heads. I think that's why I think it's important.
It's more authentic.
Yeah.
Especially Hellbent does it.
Oh yeah, yep, he definitely does that.
But then at the same time, I'm sure you guys as voice actors don't want to force it, because then it'd just be too obvious and it just won't be the same.
Yeah, you don't want to sound dry.
No.
And this is why this happened. And this is how that happened. Like, oh man, go to sleep, man. Jesus, you trying to put me to sleep, man? I've had plenty of school teachers do that, man. No emphasis in their voice.
Honestly, the things you just suddenly remember, because after you said that, Pringle, I remember a red story that you had at the end, like back when we used to have 9 stories from contributors, and then the VA would come up with one, and you told a story about, I forgot what the whole thing, but you're like in 4th grade and you fell asleep in class. And yeah, and then
was
you're
it,
like, huh?
Was it the one where I farted?
Yeah.
That's a real story. That really did happen. That's why, because like the way for Amphy, just to know, the story goes is that I was in like 4th grade, and I don't know if I slept, but this is how it goes. This is how I remember my own story, personal experience. The story goes is that it was like in 4th grade, maybe 3rd or 4th or whatever, and they were doing the librarian or whatever, or the teacher was doing one of those I forgot what they're called, like they just read it amongst the class, and we were all sitting there, and then there was a part of the story where it was I think it was either funny or she was just reading, and I farted so loud. I just farted right, and I'm in the middle of all of these kids, and I farted so loud, and all these kids, you know what they do, man? Oh man, it hurt me so hard, man. I swear, if I would just beat all those kids up, man. They put their nose in their shirt, and they're like, and then they scooted away. They didn't walk away. They scooted away. So that hurts even more because they didn't even take the time to get their asses up. They said, "I'm gonna scoot away," and I was so embarrassed, man. I was so embarrassed.
So dramatic.
And then they called me Farty Pringle after that, man.
No.
I had another instance. So then that was the first time. There was another instance where I farted in class, and that was like when I was like in middle school, and I just farted really loud. It was like in history class, and then they called me that again, man. And I was like, oh man, round 2, man.
It was Spelly Pringle. I remember that's what it was.
Yeah,
or something
man,
like
that's
that.
Joint, man. Dude, as a kid, that hurts, man. Like,
it does.
It's not even embarrassing. That like hurts. You're like, man. I went home and I was like, I'm not talking to anybody, man.
Oh
man. But now it's hilarious. Those kids were messed up, though. I still don't like theirs. Like they just walked away. They put their whole mouth and nose shirt, and they looked at me and walked away. I remember this kid's face. His name was Alex. Had 2 buck teeth, big old gap in between, bowl cut hairstyle, and freckles. And I can just remember him pointing at me, laughing and saying, "Oh, you stink!" and then scooting away, man. Oh, that hurt me so bad.
Oh my gosh, I've had a similar experience where like the quote unquote nerd of the class made fun of me too.
Yeah.
Like, this sucks. Are you serious? I am bottom of the food chain in high school right now.
It is not. Kids are evil, man. They're evil.
They're cruel.
They're cruel, man.
Cruel.
They lie. They make fun of you, man. They break your self-esteem.
Like, if you can imagine it, this kid is just like, he's just getting the shit beaten out of him, but he's pointing and laughing at me. I'm like,
yeah, exactly. That's how that is, man. That's exactly how.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, like finally
wait
someone
a minute. You're not cool. You're not supposed to make fun of me too.
Yeah. No wonder why there's a video about the creepiest things kids have said.
Oh man.
No kidding. I
Kids
mean,
are mean.
there's this one. I guess there was this one where I think Pecan, or was formerly known as Doopy. There, I said it.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Said yeah, like there was this one person, I forgot the character, but this one girl was babysitting this kid, and she overheard him singing this. I want to kill my brother, I want to kill my mother, I want to kill my... Going through his family, yeah. So I know what you mean. I know what you mean, Pringle. Evil.
But that's evil right there, man. Kids, they say it and they're like, oh, it's not. They have no weight. You know what I mean? They're not thinking of like that, the weight of all their words. They're just saying it, man. There's like no filter.
Right.
But they're also not lying to you, and that's the worst part.
I know,
They're
right?
so
That's the crazy
honest.
part of that. They're being honest, yeah.
I called my 7-year-old cousin the other day, and my mom was like singing to her happy birthday, and she just goes, "Okay," and she's like, "Why do you keep saying okay?" She's like, "I don't know what you're doing." My mom's like, "I'm singing you happy birthday," and she's like, "Okay, bye." I was like,
Oh man, so mean.
Oh my god.
You just reminded me actually of like something my nephew did once. I was playing I think I was streaming one time, and he's a bastard, man. He's a little bastard kid. He what he did is that he came up and he was like, "So what are you playing?" I don't remember what I was playing. I was like, "Oh," but I'll just say I'm playing Mega Man. He was like, Mega Man, why you don't play Minecraft? And I was like, I don't like playing Minecraft. It's not fun. And then he was like, you don't like playing Minecraft? And then I think right when he was about to leave it was like, that's why you suck. That's why you're a bad YouTuber. Because you don't play Minecraft and you suck. And then he just walked out of the room. I was like, man.
God.
And he did that while I was streaming. So I was like, man, that's grimy, man. I was like, bro. Oh, that
Wow,
little
he called
bastard
you out.
kid. It's like, that's why in my head, I was like, that's why you're not the favorite. The other one.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Should have said it to him, though. Oh, he was such a mean kid.
Thank you, Pringle and Amphy, for joining me. And thank you all for watching. Make sure to follow us on Twitter if you're not already. You can find our Twitter handles below. I'll see you all in the next episode, but until then, keep writing.